Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Coffee Yoga Wine, which is the home of yoga with Balasana. I welcome you to a rest and restorative practice today. We're going to do a deep rest and a nervous system reset. So we're going to need a few things for our practice today. So we're going to need some yoga blocks. 2 is ideal. If we don't have yoga blocks, grab a whole lot of pillows or some books, some nice thick books. Maybe a strap if you feel the need for one. Those don't quite require one, but by all means, if you're used to using one and you feel like, hey, I want to incorporate the strap, by all means, grab it. And then we need our best friends, the yoga bolsters. If we don't have a bolster at home, we can grab a variety of blankets, whatever you got, fold them, roll them. We can also grab pillows. There's lots of things at home we can use to replace yoga props. I always like to have a couple blocks, couple bolsters, a bunch of pillows. Another thing we're going to need today is a blanket. So a blanket to keep us warm in resting shape, and it also adds some layers to some of the poses we'll be visiting today. So hit pause, grab all the things, and we'll see you right back here on the mat. Welcome back. So today's first pose, we are going to just take a nice easy pose. We're going to use our blanket, prop it under our sit bones so that our knees gently fall to the ground. A little bit more grounding once we raise that sit bones, and a little bit more comfortable for most of us. So go ahead and find a comfortable seated pose. I love to stack my feet one in front of the other, so I'll bring my left foot in and stack my feet one in front, so right foot is in front. You're also welcome to take a half lotus, which is then stacking them on top of one another instead of in front of one another. Choice is yours. I'm going to go back to stacking because that's where I'm comfortable. The beautiful thing about yoga is none of us are the same. We find what works for us in our practice. Finding a nice seated pose, we're going to take a moment to breathe, to be. To let go of the day, or take this moment to organize those thoughts. Again, we all work differently. Take a nice big deep breath. No attachments, just nice big inhale and exhale. And take one more. Breathing normally, I'd like you to kind of tune into your breath. See how you're feeling today. Is that breath shallow? Is the breath normal? Is it a little fast or just perfect? And while you're breathing, check in with your body. See if there is any stress or tension that we're hanging on to. See if there's anything we kind of want to address through our practice. Take this moment to just breathe and check in. I'd like to drop a little intention for the day while we're breathing, while we're resting. A little mantra of I am supported. I allow myself to rest. I am supported. And I allow myself to rest. Rest is what resets our nervous systems, can level out those cortisol stress hormones. I am supported. I allow myself to rest. Introducing a breath now, bringing awareness to body. We're going to introduce the yogic breath. It is a 3-phase breath. The inhalations and exhalations are going to come through our nostrils if it's available to you. On the inhale, we're going to fill our belly with air. We're going to move that air up into our chest, and then lastly, fill our lungs. On the exhale, we're going to exhale lungs, chest, belly. 3 phases. So inhale with me. Exhale. Take a few nice big deep breaths here. Wonderful. Let's do one more. I am supported and I allow myself to rest. Finding our first shape of today's practice, we're going to remove the blanket from under our sit bones. And we're going to grab a bolster. Maybe a bolster and a blanket, maybe 2 bolsters, maybe a bolster and a pillow, maybe a bunch of pillows. But we're going to find a supported child's pose today. So for child's pose, we're going to place that bolster in front of us. Come to a seated position. Nice wide knees. Feet are together. And we're going to see how one bolster feels today. Maybe we're going to add some more, but we're going to find a deep, relaxing child's pose. The one that we'll be holding for about 6 to 8 minutes. So needs to be nice and comfy. So let's come to tabletop pose. Kind of straddling that bolster. A couple nice cat-cows here. So we're going to start with a big inhale. Bringing that chest forward, gaze forward, kind of creating a curvature in the spine here. Pelvis faces upwards. And exhale, we're going to round that spine like a happy cat. Really focus on separating those shoulder blades. One more here. Inhale. Exhale. Toes touching, knees wide to the mat. We're going to bring those sit bones down to our ankles. If those sit bones are not finding our ankles, that's where a blanket really comes in handy. And we're just going to place that on top of the ankles here and then allow ourselves to sit back down. Grabbing that bolster, we're going to bring it closer to us. And we're simply going to ease our way into this beautiful relaxing shape. Placing our cheeks on the bolster one way. And we're going to hold this shape for 3 to 4 minutes on this side. Arms are nice, relaxed. They can be outstretched, and they can be just beside you. Allow yourself to sink into this shape. And just breathe. Slowly bringing awareness back. We're going to now flip to the other side. So we're simply going to bring the other side, other cheek to the bolster, if you will. Evening out both sides. Nice, big deep breath. And let your body relax. Slowly bringing awareness back to your body. We're going to exit this shape by simply putting some pressure into those hands and forearms and bring yourself up nice and slowly, gently, walking your way back to a seated position. Wonderful. Maybe we outstretch those legs, give them a bit of a wiggle. And we're going to set up for our next shape. So we're going to need those yoga blocks. Gently making a nice little ramp as we will be exploring Supta Matsyendrasana, which is reclined bound angle pose. So we have our beautiful ramp here with our blocks. We're going to place the bolster up against those blocks, okay? Just like so. You'll kind of get a feeling for how high you want this to be. Maybe we want another pillow or blanket. To get into reclined bound angle, we are going to have a seat. Place those feet to the mat. Slowly start bringing awareness back into the body. We're going to exit this shape nice and slowly. We're going to bring our hands to the earth. Bring our knees up to greet each other. And there's a couple ways we can kind of release this shape. So we can use our hands to push ourselves up gently. But if that's a little hard on the neck, we can also drop our knees, find our elbow on the right side. Let's pick the right side. And bring our left arm up over top as it meets the earth. This is a beautiful way to exit this shape. For our next supported shape, we're going to kind of feel out a supported reclining twist. And we're going to explore this shape 5 minutes each side. Leaving our ramp where it is, we're going to roll up our pillow, or our blanket, place it in front, and we're going to scooch up to the bolster. Our legs are naturally going to do what they want to do here. One is on top of the other, but they will take their own shape. We're going to meet the mat once again, placing one arm on either side of the bolster ramp, grabbing our blanket. We're going to place that in between our legs here. And we're slowly going to find a beautiful version of a twist, chest to mat or chest to bolster if you can. And placing our right cheek on the bolster as well. So we're going to start this twist on the right side. Kind of shift around until you find what feels comfortable for you. Now we can grab the yoga block. We can have our hands nice and flat. And we're going to turn to our breath now and really sink into this beautiful supported spinal twist. Once again, turning to your breath, allowing rest to take over your body. Bringing awareness back to the body. Getting ready to release the shape on this side. We're going to press those hands into the earth as we slowly, gently, mindfully lift back up into a seated position. We're going to remove that blanket and bring our legs to in front of us. Once again, giving them a little bit of a wiggle here before we move this shape into the other side. We're going to explore that shape now on the other side, again for a few minutes. Bringing ourselves back to that seated position. Scooch those hips up to the bolster. One leg on top of the other, blanket folded in between. We're going to turn and face the bolster and scooch ourselves so that we're nice and comfy here. We can feel that twist, but we're not overdoing things. Slowly walk yourself to the bolster, placing the chest on the bolster. And this time your left cheek is going to meet that bolster, and you're going to find a nice relaxing shape here. Once again, turn to your breath and allow that rest to take over your body. Slowly start bringing awareness back to your body. Pressing those hands into the mat, you're gently going to bring yourself up and out of this shape at your own pace. Coming back to a seated position. We're going to put the bolster to the side for right now. As we turn to discovering our new shape of a supportive bridge pose. So you're going to need one yoga block. We're going to be in this pose for a few minutes. It can be a bit of an uncomfortable pose when you're first exploring it, so if a yoga block is just too much, just grab a book or even a gardener's pad if you have one of those foam gardener's pads. Those are mint, or maybe just a blanket. Or I'm going to use a yoga block. Bringing both feet to the mat. We're going to do a little bit of a belly strength test here. As we bring ourselves vertebra by vertebra, engaging those belly muscles to the mat. Shoulder blades are tucked under, feet are nicely rooted to the mat here. In a supported bridge pose, we're going to bring our hands to the mat, pushing our weight through the feet and a little bit through the hands. We're going to rise those hips up to the sky. Now this is bridge pose. We're going to find a bit of a deeper stretch in our spine by using a yoga block. And this is a beautiful shape for anyone that has lordosis. A little bit of a pivot in that sacrum. We're going to place that yoga block right on those sit bones. And we're going to gently bring the pelvis to rest on that yoga block. So this is a beautiful passive bridge pose. You're going to feel that relaxation in the sacrum, lower spine. You're even going to feel it a little bit in your neck, so kind of explore this shape. Once again, turning to breath. Releasing the jaw, unclenching that jaw. Removing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Explore this shape and its beauty. Slowly bringing awareness back to your body. We're going to release the shape by pushing our feet into the earth, lifting those hips to the sky. We're going to remove that yoga block gently, vertebra by vertebra, bringing that spine back to the earth. Then gently we're going to bring those knees into our chest, wrapping ourselves around those knees and stretching as we give ourselves a great big hug here. Maybe we're going to rock back and forth. Beautiful, placing those feet back onto the yoga mat. We're going to find the fetal position on the right side. So our right arm is going to come up so it supports our head. Gently, we're going to drop those knees to the side and slowly bring ourselves back up to a seated position. Preparing for another supported pose here. We're going to do a supported forward fold. For supported forward fold, I'm going to take and use my yoga strap. And 2 bolster pillows. Start with 2. We find that sometimes we may need 1, we may need 2. Totally up to you. Find what feels comfortable for you here. I'm going to place this strap, and you're going to do the same if you have a strap. If you don't have a strap, a tea towel works really well, or a necktie around our feet, just like so. Laying that down now, we're going to grab a pillow, and we're going to grab another pillow. And I think this is going to be a little bit too tall for me, but you do what works for you. We are going to find that strap and kind of hang on to it. And this allows our spine to stay nice and neutral as we fold over into that supported forward fold. Once you're there, like I am right now, I'm feeling like, I need a little bit extra support today. I grab that blanket. Once again, using the strap as a guide, nice straight spine, and folding forward. Once you find that fold, you can release the strap. Place those hands onto the earth below. And simply find breath once again in this shape. And we'll be here for a few minutes. Slowly bringing awareness back to your body. Pressing into the earth. We're going to lift ourselves up, gently walking those hands so that we are in a nice seated staff position. That is a shape I can get lost in for a few minutes for sure. I have to wake up after that one. Placing our blanket to the side. We're going to need it for our final resting shape for the Śavāsana. Placing our strap to the side. We're going to use one of the yoga bolsters on pillows. I'm still waking up. Pillows, blankets, anything you have for Śavāsana, our final resting shape. We're going to be there for 8 to 10 minutes. So you want to be nice and comfortable. So for Śavāsana, we are going to place a bolster under our knees for a little bit of an elevation. And we're going to grab our blanket. Keep us warm. And we're going to just place our hands behind us on the mat and gently bring ourselves into that final resting shape. Engage those core muscles and release those muscles as we just let our body fully and completely sink into the earth below. Feeling that sense of relaxation moving all the way from our tippy toes up through our ankles, relaxing the knees and hips. Feeling that warmth rising and kind of surrounding our spine. Relaxing those fingertips, maybe they're resting on our belly, perhaps they're facing the sky. Relax shoulders, neck. Soften those eyes. Unclench that jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And fully and completely embrace this relaxing shape. Slowly start bringing awareness back into your body, wiggling those toes, fingers, rolling those wrists, slowly waking up from a beautiful rest in Śavāsana. Once again, finding ourselves to a seated position, we're going to roll onto the right side. Bringing that arm up over top as we find a fetal position here. And slowly start walking our way back up as we take easy pose one more time. Stacking one foot in front of the other. Sitting here, close your eyes. Once again, turning to that yogic breath, taking a nice big deep breath here. 3-phase breath, fill that belly. Move that air up into our chest, fill your lungs. Exhale, lungs, chest, belly. One more here. Give yourself thanks for being here today, for allowing your body to rest. Let the stillness, this rest, carry you through the rest of your day, evening. May you move forward with peace, grounded presence, and an open heart. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.